One question I've been receiving a lot lately is, Chris, what is the best string library for pop and rock? And while there is no definitive answer because you can't really quantify the best, right? But there are libraries that I personally feel are more appropriate for those styles than others. So in this video, I'll really quickly share with you the libraries that I personally use for pop and rock songs, in my cases and for my clients. And yeah, hopefully it gives you a couple of ideas as well. So let's jump on into the DAW and take a look. All right, so the very first library I use on a consistent basis for pop and rock songs is Cinematic Studio Strings. Now this might come as a little bit of a surprise, but you know, it's mainly known for that its bigger symphonic sound, it's really smooth legato, so you would expect it to be more used in like golden age scores that are really romantic, that sort of thing. However, there are a big variety. There's a lot of variety in terms of pop. When we say pop music, you might think of like bubblegum pop and indie pop and stuff like that, but there are also slower pop songs and ballads, right, that use strings. And so CSS for me is a really good choice if I want that slightly smaller sound than a huge symphonic string section, and I want that bit of intimacy, but I really want that smooth legato as well. So let me quickly play the legato here for you really quickly, and then we'll take a look at the short notes as well. Right, so you can hear it has that creamy sound. It doesn't sound overly large. I think there's like 8 first violins in this patch, and so yeah, for me when I think of pop, I think of not too big of a string section, not a full symphonic size. So usually between like 5 to 10 players, you know, per section. And I think this library also has really, really good shorts, and they have 4 varieties of shorts as well. So if we start from the very bottom of the mod wheel, then we can hear the spiccatos. And then on the way up, we hear staccatissimo, then staccato, then sforzando. So we'll start with spiccato and work our way up. Yeah, and I also really like this library because the shorts are very consistent in terms of the timing and the attacks. So whereas some libraries have a bit more delay between different shorts, when you play chords, it feels a little uneven and you have to go in and manually readjust the notes, right? For this library, it's not the case. Like I played chords and you could hear they basically lined up in time precisely with each other from the beginning to the end. So it's really, really cool. So yeah, CSS is a beautiful library, not just for romantic scores and you know, stuff like that, but it also gives you the agility that you need for the Mercado patch. If you want a faster legato line and those short notes, you have a variety of them that you can use on a really consistent basis. The second library I want to quickly mention here is Spitfire Chamber Strings Essentials. And if you have the full Chamber Strings library, that's even better. But for me, the Essentials library is more than enough. So here's the legato. Again, you're going to expect a smaller sound, a more intimate sound, which is really good for those poppy settings, right? Because it's not really for a big symphonic sound. It's more for a poppier, closer, mic'd sort of sound. So here's the legato, and then we'll go to the spiccato. So beautiful sound, right? Sound quality is absolutely top-notch in my opinion. The one thing is that it's only one legato type. It's a slurred legato, so if you play faster, it might not sound as convincing, so do keep that in mind. But usually I would be using this library as sort of a background texture. If there's like a counter melody going on behind the vocal, then you know you want the line to sing. This library is great for that as well. Okay, let's hear the spiccato. right? So you do get that Air Studio sound, like you hear the definition of the hall, but it doesn't sound overwhelming. You hear a lot of the close mic'd detail as well, which I really do appreciate. And of course, if you want it closer, you can push up the fader here, and if you want it further, you can do that as well. Vice versa. Now, a bit of a dark horse here that I use sometimes as well is Dolce. And Dolce is intended as a chamber string library for romantic styles, kind of similar to CSS in a way, but it has a clearer sound overall. And the spiccato is sort of an underrated articulation here in the library. So let's hear the ensemble patch spiccato. So you hear a little bit of the closer mic in there as well. So yeah, these three libraries, I think, can do the bulk of your pop and rock song needs. For me, when I think about strings in that sort of setting, I'm looking for realism, but I'm also looking for intimacy as well and musicality. Because, coming from the orchestral background, I do place priority on a musical, realistic sounding result and not just having something that's in there for the sake of being there. Like strings, I think, are really, really important in many, many contexts, and pop and rock really is no exception. So if you're looking for that sort of criteria, I would say a smaller, intimate sound, having responsive shorts and smooth legato is really good, and sort of a baseline you want to look for when you're looking for these libraries. And I think these ones do the job really, really well, especially these first two, CSS and Spitfire chamber strings. Both of these give me that smaller sound, but I can also wet it up if I really need to. And the timing in the shorts is really consistent. The overall playability is very responsive, and the musicality is just off the charts. Like, it really sounds real. It really sounds like musicians are giving it their all, right? They're very inspiring the samples themselves. So I really enjoy using these libraries on a regular basis. And speaking of which, if you're looking for like my full sample library recommendations list, I want to give it to you absolutely free down below in the description box. You can click it there and treat it as a buyer's guide. So if you're on the market for different sections as well, like woodwinds, brass libraries, percussion libraries, piano libraries, all that stuff, you'll find it in that guide, the stuff that I personally use on a regular basis every single day. And I want to give that to you because I get a lot of those questions and I just wanted to answer them in this one cohesive guide. So grab it for free down below as my gift to you for watching this video today, and I will see you in the next one. I hope this helped a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions and I will do my best to answer them. So I'll see you in the next video, and take care. Bye.